Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Psychedelic Art Exchange YouTube channel. As you hopefully know by now, we run auctions off of two different platforms. We have our standard signature auctions, which include the megas, the CGCs, the collector showcase auctions. But we also have this specialty auction platform that we run about an auction or two a month on. And these auctions have been kind of amazing lately. So we wanted to talk about the one that we have running right now, which is the holiday concert poster auction. And it's open until Sunday, December 14th at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. It's definitely super special. So let's check out some posters.
Yeah, like Katie was saying, our specialty auction platform is a place where we generally like to run out full collections by single collectors, so you can see some of the stuff that is unique as it was assembled by one individual, just as every collection is. But you get to understand where the collector was coming from. This current one has yielded a lot of interesting material from the Pacific Northwest and Hawaii and all over the place. But it also gave us an opportunity to talk about this poster, which does not come in frequently. And it's a poster that has always puzzled me for a couple reasons. That it doesn't that it wasn't the first poster from this genre to get over a six-figure bid, which the Skull and Roses did for obvious reasons. But I mean, the Beatles candlestick seems to have it all. I mean, it was the Beatles' last performance. It was done by Wes Wilson. It's on paper that makes it very difficult to get a mint copy. In fact, we've only seen CGC 9.2s as the highest grade that's been offered to this poster thus far. And, it has, a strange range of hammer price. There was one in like 2022 at Heritage that got 32,000, and it's kind of all over the board after that. I'd always thought that this would be the one art of rock piece that would sort of overtake them all. And it's, anyhow, regardless, we have a copy here that's a little bit chewed up, but to own a copy at all is an important thing. I don't own one in my collection because I'm holding out for that gem copy, which hasn't come by yet. And the resources to own it. But anyhow, this was the Beatles' last show. Candlestick, Wes Wilson, hard as hell to find in top shape, and we don't have one that's in top shape. It's fixed. It's it's well loved, but
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
we don't get an opportunity to talk about the Beatles very much because there's so little Beatles material that we're able to sell just because it doesn't exist. Um, but I mean, I'm really happy that we get to. This is a, obviously this is behind me all the time. A real favorite band in my life. And I mean, this is really cool because of, I mean, the historical importance. Also, like, there was a lot of controversy happening around the Beatles at the time because John Lennon had made the comment about them being bigger than Jesus, and that really pissed people off. Um, and Revolver, I think, came out like right or like maybe within the week that this show happened, which is my favorite Beatles album.
yeah. I mean, that's when the Beatles got psychedelic, right around there. Rubber Soul and whatnot, and yeah, I mean, it wasn't like they were saying they were better than Christ or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, Beatles stuff is generally at the tip of the collector's hierarchy. It is the gold standard, and there's pieces that you can't even touch or won't even get
Yeah.
an opportunity to touch. So if you want an authentic Beatles poster, and especially one from the psychedelic 60s,
Mhm.
I can't really say too much about this piece.
It's great.
Anyhow, but moving right along, this like I mentioned previously, this collection has, a bunch of interesting stuff, and these are the pieces that jumped out at me. And first of all is this Big Sur poster, Big Sur folk. It was 1968, and this is all of the except for Dylan, of course, who was then a rocker by that time. But yeah, this is a sweet piece. I don't believe I've ever seen it come up before, and it's got Arlo and Joan Baez and Mimi Farina and all that. And it was at the hot springs, Esalen, now the Esalen Institute's there, which is a very important sort of retreat for yoga and mindfulness and whatnot. It's a place that I'd love to go. Big Sur is beautiful, probably the most dramatic meeting of land and sea that I've ever seen. And it's in Northern California, Central California. Anyhow, this piece is one to look out for. And I think I don't there was that one year where it was the remember Joni Mitchell and Crosby, Stills and Nash singing the Youngbloods tune. Anyhow, that's
do I remember that?
I
no,
mean,
I
all right. Do you remember seeing that? All right, I'm gonna move on. And so from Big Sur to Hawaii, and there were some particularly hot Hawaii posters in here, especially. And this one's a little bit big and thin, so I'm having to, hold it.
We promise
but
we're
yeah,
being careful.
Yeah. I mean, but Aretha, this is a beautiful piece,
so beautiful.
And it's I've never seen this before. And some of the most valuable posters of any artists come from Hawaii, from this KPOI. There's a Hendrix, a Zeppelin. It's heavy stuff. So, I mean, Aretha. She is just the queen of soul music. So
yeah, we can't keep that one up very long because it's
it's
wanting to curl, but it's gorgeous.
Right. And so now I can get this out of the way, I think, and talk about the Sunshine Festival, which, Katie, maybe you can shed some light. I know that they come up in all kinds of different, for different years. So.
Yeah, I think that they happened for like roughly a decade, and there were like the Sunshine Festivals. Some of them were in the summer. A lot of them were on New Year's. I believe this one is New Year's 1974, and they were sort of I believe called like the Woodstock of Hawaii sometimes, because they were like just wild hippie festivals. And Hawaii was like really lax about a lot of things until the end of this, when I believe like by the last year, people were kind of mad about it happening and it had to shut down.
Yeah, I mean, they probably didn't want the secret to get out too much, but there are, some really important posters from Hawaii, like the Griffin Hawaiian Oxmox and the Murphy poster, and then all these, and there is I mean, it's got a vibe, and I pulled out a few of them here. And so this Crater Celebration is another show from Hawaii, and 75 Fleetwood Mac, I guess that's when right around Rumors and all that, and it
was the first year of the classic lineup of the band that everyone knows
classic
about.
Lineup, that the one that everyone knows about. I will prefer to call it that. I think the classic lineup was.
I know what your thoughts on Fleetwood Mac.
I know. But it's I'm the old guy with an opinion. Anyhow, so yeah, that's, if that's meaningful to you, Fleetwood Mac in 75. This is something to look at. And so moving right along, in this sort of warm season kind of mode that we're trying to present to warm us up
to combat this.
There's this surf poster, the surf movie poster by Griffin, which is I'm not that familiar with the culture and the films, but this is an important surf film, and the images by Griffin, and this is for some showings in Australia, which is the other surf capital of the world. And I kind of I guess I use this as a segue because the soundtrack to this, or the score to this film, was created by the band Honk, that I know nothing about, but I found that tidbit. And this is a black and white, beautiful Griffin piece and signed with a big fat signature. So this is, I think, Rick is the one we all, not all, but, that we tend to idolize here, and having his signature is a big deal. And here's your chance to own it on this poster, which I haven't seen signed too often.
Yeah, I remember that. I have certain memories of posters just from being a kid and having them hanging up in the house. That's one that sticks out to me for some reason.
I guess the cartoony nature, it's
Yeah.
always been a fun piece. And yeah, the black and white holds it back in terms of value for whatever reason. And there were, I guess there were a bunch of copies, but it's a Griffin signed poster. So, and it's, you got to look for it. It's a little bit further down in the order. So look for that piece. And
Yeah,
there's,
we'll make you look through all of the auction to get there.
yeah, well, that's why you got to pay attention to all of it, because there's hidden gems like this Singer poster that, I've never seen before. And it's signed by Singer, and it's Kingfish, that was a side project of Bob Weir. And but more importantly, this is at Bimbo's is, it was a famous venue on Columbus and San Francisco. Dozens of shows there. I mean, hundreds, I don't know, whatever, a lot of shows. So, but this is a Bimbo's poster, and you don't see him often. So, it's, I particularly like this. It's, it's a lot different than his, the stuff he did for the Fillmore. It's a, it's a lovely piece. And one more sort of, I don't know, I guess the 80s are a thing now, because now this is what, 83 Garcia Band, and the band, when they came back after the last waltz, and they came back with the Cates brothers, and it was that brief period where they were trying to keep the thing alive. And I saw shows in this time. They opened for the Dead a couple times, and I guess they were the headliner here ahead of Jerry at the Sierra Sun Festival, which was in Grass Valley, California, where I was this past weekend for that original Grateful Dead art exhibit, which was really mind-blowing. If you're anywhere in the area and you can go check this exhibit at the Chambers Project, it's well worth seeing. But so here, we have Jerry in 83, which is how many years now? It's probably older than the 60s were when I started collecting in these posters. Like that time skew is strange.
Yes, the 80s are a thing now, as you.
I mean, yeah, I guess what they got to be like 40 years old. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's uncomfortable for me.
Well, don't think about it too hard.
Anyhow, so I mean, this is bringing us close to Christmas and the end of the year. We will try to get off another sale, maybe, of some floor sweepings or something, just to keep the train moving. But we've enjoyed doing this for another year. We're grateful that you're all still interested in this and still interested in these posters, and just really, happy to still be able to do this.
Yes, that's very true. And all of this and more could be yours if you bid in the holiday concert poster auction, our specialty auction platform. All of the links that you need are going to be in the description right below us. Yeah, thank you for being here. We will certainly see you back soon.
Thanks again.
Bye.